Bro.
No one's gonna say anything.
I thought we were like playing a prank that I wasn't in on, so I was like, oh, are we all just gonna freeze frame like we're stuck? But
I'm not gonna lie. I like it.
Thank you.
It's
Good
like-
morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. I needed to get that out of the way early because I was gonna be thinking about it, you know, new dress and all. But anyways, we are gonna have ourselves a good conversation.
Real quick, on the new shirt, first of all, yeah, cool swag. You posted about it and you tagged Wob, who I guess is he the owner of Sappy Seals? Co-founder. Because of that, he followed me. So somehow he tracked that back to Web3. I got the Wob follow. I got the cosign.
You're welcome.
Wob now because of your shirt. So
you're welcome. That's what we do here on the Web3 Network. We just
didn't follow me, motherfucker.
You're welcome for that parallel repost.
Oh, okay. So we hit each other back. We were doing a little bit of farming. Biggie wasn't getting involved, and that's because Gifted, I guess, just doesn't think Biggie's a part of the network. He's asking him every day, "Hey, Biggie, you gonna be around?"
Look, I take nothing for granted.
I'm a fair weather friend, man. I'm only here in the bear markets. I mean, that wouldn't be a fair weather.
That would be hilarious, actually.
Look, a bear weather friend. That's funny. Look, I take nothing for granted. I don't take Biggie's time. I don't expect anything from this man. But it seems like he's now trying to make it official. He's trying to DTF, define the relationship. And apparently he wants to stick around, and that's amazing. I'm so happy that he's going to be here pretty much every day, other than maybe some days on Wednesdays. And he's officially one of our main co-hosts at this point. I mean, you know, for a while, like he was just coming in whenever he could, but now he's trying to make it official, and I love that, man.
You've been official in my heart, Biggie. What's going on, bro?
Thank you. It is something I've been noodling over. You know, I always get very contemplative over the holidays. You know, coming up on the new year. Like I said, I always think about my not resolutions. I call them like yearly mantras or like things that I want to double down on or stop doing. You know, it comes naturally to me. 'Tis the season, as they say. But yeah, one of those things is like what I've been up to this year, and it's been very fulfilling. And I like, the more I do it, the more I enjoy it. Like it, there's many reasons why I like started doing it. Right, one chief amongst them is that it's been just a great vibe to be up here with you talking about stuff that I'm very passionate about. I don't have a lot of people. I don't have anybody in my city that really is into this stuff, and I don't like exactly advertise it. And so, it fell right in the time where my baby's sleeping and taking a nap. It's just been perfect. And like, but the more I've done it, like the more I've enjoyed it, to the point where like now I'm like, man, like, yeah, I want to do it more often. Like you said, maybe make it a little more official. So yeah, brother, I love it. Thank you.
Well, all right. And so I will
contract incoming.
The net effect of that is I need to stop on GM Web3 being like, Biggie, are you gonna come today? So
yeah. Other than Wednesdays, which can sometimes, I don't know, depending on the show that I'm doing now with Command A, that takes up some time. But even then, like, I feel like it helps me like to come in like for like half an hour or whatever, like get warmed up and start talking about stuff, and then just jump over there, right? Like it's nuts though. You should see my desk. I got like a ton of fucking earphones.
Dude, I just love it. I love it so much, and to hear like that, because the whole point of this thing is to be a community-driven platform, and you've used it like that. You use it as a tool to support what you're doing, to fit it into your life, and it supports you by, you know, you support the network, you show up consistently, and you use it to support what you do, and that's the whole idea of this thing that we're building here on the Web3 Network. So yeah, and then dude, Squash Man, thank you for pulling that up. I meant to actually read this. I wanted to read this. Maybe I'll read it on Monday, because this meant so much, dude. Shout out Squash Man. He was sharing some love and talking about the Web3 Network and what it's meant to him personally. Dude, you're amazing. You're amazing, Squash Man. All of y'all are, but especially Squash Man for that one. And he provides so much value. And it's people like that make this whole thing happen.
100%.
Variant, Kerry Ross, Marty McFly, DP, Jeff Jack, Cats Fanatic, Benj, Squash is here to hear these flowers. So nice to see. Biggie,
hell yeah.
What do you got?
I wouldn't be here without you, fam. Like, honestly, like it's what I think it makes this space unique, unlike any other that I've ever visited or been a part of. Is like, we have a core group of diehards, man. And like, all of you are like deep into your own like things here in Web3, and I've learned so much about you, and you're always participating and helping out, man. It's beautiful, dude. Like, especially now, like that we're finally like getting these positive vibes back, right? Like, and like our convictions are like somehow vindicated, because like, as we all know, getting through this bear market, it's not easy, but it's better when you got friends like you guys here. So
it feels like it's Thanksgiving week almost.
Yeah, a lot of feels early in this episode. And hey, look, I'm appreciative of all you guys, and you know how it feels. That's another thing, is like we've all kind of gone through this together, so we all kind of have that shared knowledge of how tough it can be, especially when the prices are what they are. But we are getting back to a point where this ball is getting rolled in the right direction, and we're going to cover a lot of that today as we get started. So I'm sharing a lot of the show details out here on our socials. Would appreciate it if y'all do as well. I'll drop a link there in the chat. Here's my dashboard for today, and it's not that full for a reason that I'll talk on in just a quick moment. But yeah, I've got Moon tokens potentially coming back. A proof is popping off. So this proof mint, I'd love to like dive back in, because I think we like barely touched on this stuff. But there was a proof mint, and now proof passes is up like 60% in the last 24 hours. Refik is going to be a major portion of this show. That's going to be one of our main topics. We got a Bitcoin Taproot raise of like $6 to $7 million. On the gaming front, we've got Ronin Network. We've got some sports related stuff with NHL Breakaway. We got some mainstream FUD coming our way from not only the art side, but from the general public. Yeah.
Just to add to the sports thing, also PSG doing something with crypto.com.
Oh, okay.
So throw that in the sports talk.
And Pudgy Penguins, just never out of the news. Never out of the news here. So we're going to get to all of that and more after we get this episode shared out and we get the disclaimer that we're not here to give you financial advice, fellas and ladies. You want to hit them with it?
I suppose we should. Ye old disclaimer. This is not financial advice. And again, I know sometimes if you're a regular here, it can feel annoying that we have to say it every day, but it's for your safety and ours. Please believe. We do this because it's necessary to make sure that anybody out there, whether you're with us live or you're catching us in the recordings later, we appreciate you all. But just remember, do your own research. We're not financial advisors. This is all just public domain information that we found on the internet and our own personal opinions. That's it. Thank you.
All right, I was going to start with another topic, but we just got a CyberBrokers trailer. And you know how we feel about trailers here on the network. So we're going to just watch a CyberBrokers trailer here.
LFG.
Let's see what CyberBrokers is saying. GM, welcome all to the new faces in the CyberBrokers community. We're excited to bring you up to speed and help you dive into our digital collectibles ecosystem where innovation, art, and storytelling merge. Here we go. This is an iconic piece right here. I remember Ronin had the AR t-shirt as well. Like he had the tee that would like augment reality if you like put the phone there.
Keep going. I might show up.
The cash would go. No.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Biggie, you're gonna show up here?
Maybe. Yeah, I was there. I was in my dressed up.
So it just reminds me that I totally like, this was one of those things that I dropped the ball on when they were doing like, there was a whole crafting and collecting aspect to the CyberBrokers, because I have one. I'm still holding my CyberBroker.
You didn't get your parts, right?
Yeah. So I like missed that whole, because that's what I'm seeing here is like this is all the parts and the collecting things that they were doing. And so I still have my CyberBroker. That's the good news. The bad news is like I missed out on a lot of the utility. Oh my god,
is that Supermassive?
Yeah, that's NFT NY
wow.
Paris, which was supposedly amazing. They did like
Epic.
a rap performance. It's
Epic.
Is that the Adidas BAYC swag? Oh my god, dude! So many call outs here. I'm getting nostalgic. All right, Quantum saying Josie and the team have been doing more live streams too. CyberBrokers are so baller. Jeff is saying I wish I had a CyberBrokers, and Marty saying he likes the music. Wow, that's starting off on a positive note from Marty McFly. I know this episode is going to be great. All right, I'm going to get us into one of the main topics, Refik Anadol, here in just a moment. Look, I kind of went through like a little bit of a crisis this morning, and then I kind of had a moment of appreciation of where I've been in this cycle. So just really quick, the dashboard is not as full on my side, and I kind of was a little bit, I wouldn't call it unprepared for the morning show, but I just didn't have as many things to add into and do all these things, because for the last 24 hours, I've been kind of like looking and contemplating on my own situation of where I am, as far as what I'm allocated to, what things that I'm seeing, what metas that I'm seeing, as opposed to grinding hard as fuck on this content every single goddamn day, being tired as shit, spending 2 hours with my dog and my girlfriend or IRL, and then going to sleep and trying to do it all over again. So I came to a realization. Go ahead.
I can't sympathize enough with what you just said, and I wanted to follow up the question just like what are your like 3 priorities or takeaways that you've gotten since doing this? It's like, obviously cut the fat, I think, is something that the majority of us would be, well served to do at some point, right? But I'm curious, like, since you've been actually like looking at your stuff and contemplating on like what have been the 3 things that like stood out to you the most?
I don't know if I have 3. It's just a realization that as a content creator and as someone that's putting a lot of time in this space, you need to make sure that you spend some time to observe these different things that you can get caught up in, especially in a bull market. That was my number one problem in the last cycle, is that we were a part of a lot of that stuff, and yet I didn't take the time to make little small decisions that would end up being big here today, sitting in 2023. I didn't do it because I got caught up in a guest we were having the next day. I got caught up in trying to figure out this, that, and whatever. And so that's my biggest thing. And I guess you could take it away to maybe just like a more traditional sense. If you've got a 9 to 5, how do you fit all this stuff in? Well, it's tough, man. You have to, even like just calling out sick for a day, you know what I mean? Like, and just for 24 hours for a weekend, thinking about this shit as we get closer to the bull would benefit y'all so much. As far as the 3 main takeaways, I haven't got that deep into it, Biggie. From that perspective,
I'll tell you 3 things. Like a couple. Like one of the things that because I've been doing something similar to, and I think people were well served doing it. I got to catch up. I had to leave early last time in the show because of the one that I have to do, but I caught up, and I love that Jared mentioned it himself. Right? It's like he's been through 2 cycles. He's round tripped cycles as well, and so he's like, I hope we can help other people not make the same mistakes.
100%.
So to me, like one of the things that I've been looking at in my portfolio and like the holdings that we have is, like making like a tiered system, right? Like it's like, first of all, it's like, what are the absolutes, like untouchables, like the thing that I would want to sell never, last, ever, right? Unless it's something like some gargantuan offer, or like it just completely blasts off and you think maybe you can buy back later, right? And I silo those things, because those things that then to me, like I don't need to track as closely, right? And then secondly, it's like, what's the absolute, I don't want to call it trash, but it's like good luck ever recovering, right? And to me, like those are the things that, I don't know, like you can sell into the floor at Blur or whatever once you reach a certain height or whatever. It's like probably not going to go beyond that. And then you have that middle, and that's the part where you have to be a little more vigilant, right? Is like, is there something that you're still very keen on, right? And you want to follow or be part of the journey or be a part of the community? do you have too much allocation to that project? Is there something that you'd like to get, like take profits on down the line? And if so, like look at the historical values and be like, what's a realistic, price target for me to trade profits here, right? As opposed to just trying to time like the tippity top, and it's like I'm gonna go beyond all-time highs again, right?
Yeah. Nobody can time the top and the bottom.
Portfolio, right?
Yeah, nobody can time the top and the bottom perfectly. Just remember that. And that's why having like goals and set plans it can really help with that. The one thing that I'll add into this, and first of all, it's so cute. I'm very glad that you're kind of like noticing the loop and trying to break out of that and take some time to like look around, because that's huge. Like you were talking, like doing this thing as a content creator where we're just trying to create consistent, good quality content, show up every day, book new guests. We don't have a lot of resources. We're doing all of this ourselves. And the amount of work that actually goes into doing this is a full-time job. And so you get stuck, you get stuck into this loop sometimes, right? Where you just feel like you're just kind of doing it over. And the dangerous part is that if you get to a point where you're just repeating patterns and you're not actually integrating new information or breaking out of that. So that's why it's good to like take a step back, analyze, think about things in different ways, and then kind of come back into it refreshed with new POVs. So that's great. The other thing that I'll throw into this, the one thing that there's a lot of things I haven't done that I should do, but the one thing that I have done recently is I consolidated from multiple wallets all like the majority, like 98% of all the NFTs that I want to hold, that I think are valuable, that are meaningful to me, into one cold storage wallet. And it takes time and it takes gas. It's not fun, honestly, to do that. If you got a bunch of assets across multiple wallets, like you might have to spend hundreds of dollars or more, just to even do that. So it's not fun to go through that process and also look through all the trash that you've collected to like find it. But that's a thing that within a couple hours and for a couple $100, I think does give you that sort of peace of mind and simplify things where it's like, okay, I know from all this different junk and all the different things that I've done and whatever, that I've put the time into at least separating out what you were calling, Biggie, like the sort of long-term or the things that are more meaningful into one place that's protected and cold storage.
Yeah, and Marty's here in chat saying it's a lot of work. I respect that. I think objectively, though, the channel and X Space is growing. And so I'm not trying to, again, sit up here and say my job is harder than somebody else who has, again, 2 childs and a full-time 9 to 5. I'm not saying any of that. Just my experience is I sit down at 9. I start getting ready for the morning show. And I don't, now that we've integrated the rehash thread and video, we don't get done until about 6. At least my time. So it's and you're exhausted because it's live content. You're sitting in front, like there's a lot of adrenaline that goes into that too.
It's earlier for me too. It's like 7:30 when I'm sitting down.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And so there's a lot of things. Anyways, if you've made it through this whole conversation, I think it would be important to maybe have this convo more. But I'm not trying to have that like kind of existential,
no, not at all.
Topic.
I think it's just a good message to put out there to, like, again, like what Jared said, it's like one of the purposes or the reasons that we're here, right, is also to educate maybe the next wave of normies. I know our community is like pretty in line with our ethos and what we do. But it even bears repeating, right, and reminding, right, and like you don't have to do it all in one swoop. And as far as the content goes, I mean, I do it willingly because I love it. It just, you can't deny the fact that it can be a time suck sometimes, and I respect you guys for doing it. And it's a lovely thing to see what we're building here. So
100%. I'm not looking for any pity parties either, guys. No. And I know that's not what you're saying, either you or Marty. I'm just kind of working through my thought process. So anyways, if you made it through that diatribe there, and I think it was an important one, I want to give you guys some, at least I think it's alpha, and I've been kind of working my way around it here. So parallel avatars, obviously we've been talking about it. You almost probably want me to stop talking about it at this point. But let me what was that? Why is the screen being shared like that? That's weird. Okay. Anyways,
I tried switching to a try box right when you were switching. That's what happened.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So parallel avatars, they pulled back a little bit. I got a little bit of this, but again, the question I was trying to answer is Prime's going to take off. I think parallel will take off. what was going to do extremely well? Well, the avatars did it extremely well. The token did too, but the avatars did a little bit better. So I'm looking at Shrapnel now, and I'm saying to myself, okay, post airdrop of the Shrapnel token, it pretty much dumped. So if I take you out to 30 days, there was an airdrop of Shrapnel token which just launched, and then they dumped the avatars of that ecosystem. So I picked some up around 0.13, 0.14. They ran to like 0.25 overnight and have pulled back a little bit. The other thing that I'm looking at, and I think the real alpha, is the Shrapnel token. So this is not financial advice by any means, but myself, I'm selling a mutant here after the show. So I'm telling you about the alpha before I even buy it. That's how you know it's good shit, because I'm not filling up my bags and then telling you about it afterwards. The Shrapnel token, and the way it works, I want to make sure I'm very simple with this. The circulating supply will not increase for another 12 months. It's at about 170 million, I think, right now, 170 million tokens. Right now, it's about 12 to 13 cents, which puts it in like some $25 million range for one of the better Web3 games right now. A $25 million circulating supply, $25 to $30 million. For reference, let me pull up Illuvium really quick for you. Illuvium is sitting at 527 million, and gamers like Orenji and other gamers are putting it above Illuvium when they make their S tier charts and things like this, and more gameplay is coming in December. And one of the main reasons this token hasn't taken off, one, it just launched, but it launched on Avalanche. And I think a lot of this has to do with people not having funds and it not being able to easily access that token over there on Avalanche. So I'm bridging to Avalanche today. I'm selling. Biggie's going to buy some tokens like immediately. So that's solid. Another Biggie move. He said he's going to be right back. But to me, this is what I'm looking at. It might be my best call of the entire bull market right now, is this Shrapnel token. Sitting at a $25 million market cap, not increasing in circulating supply, and just sitting there waiting. So I'm going to be doing that today. I bought Shrapnel operators last night. I bought a good chunk of them. So I'll sit on those and wait to see for gameplay next month. But any thoughts on that, GIF?
I mean, not financial advice, of course. Yeah, we don't know if it's your best call. Could be. You definitely have made some good points that are making me intrigued. And I think the question then is, if we wanted to get in on it, what is the best way to bridge to AVAX and actually get there, right?
Okay, so the best way to do that, and I went through a conversation this morning here with Mike, who front ran me on this info as well. So he's in. But the best, and I'll put it in chat. Let's see. Okay, you could bridge with a piece, and I've already done this, right? I've already bridged to Avalanche here. You can use that bridge, Squid Router, and then the decentralized exchange on Avalanche that Mike used and I am going to use is TraderJoeXYZ.com. So again, I'm not in the Avalanche ecosystem. I see Biggie's shaking his head. Yes. I don't know if he's used that, but I will be, again, bridging a solid chunk. I'm fully selling a mutant and a couple more thousand, and I'm getting in pretty heavy on Shrapnel. This seems to be, I think, the best bet that I'll make all fucking cycle right now.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, yeah, I've been in AVAX for some time now. And so, yeah, I saw you mention it on Telegram and, like you said, NFA or whatever. But I was like, yeah, my homie's a pretty big gamer, so click. But yeah, Trader Joe's a great, fantastic trade place. Exchange.
All right, Cat's Fanatic's going to put me on the spot here. It's absolutely incredible to me that you are researching these different games and tokens, yet are missing my Valeria Alpha. So who does the one on the show that knows about Valeria, correct? Or is it you, Biggie?
No, yeah. Huda's like friends with one of them, apparently.
Huda's friends with Cat's Fanatic, and then he sent me the links, and I looked it over, and I found it very intriguing. It seems to have like a really cool mechanism, but I'm still waiting for my gamer friend verdict, because I am not the expert when it comes to games or anything. So I'm awaiting your verdict on that. But it's very intriguing, Cat's Fanatic. I do like it a lot.
I would like to find Valeria Games, Valeria Studios. So we're being told that this is on par here with the call. So it's on Polygon. We have 2 co-founders here, so I'll throw them a follow. Looks like they just had a space. All right, so this is what we'll do. We'll come back next week on Monday and dedicate a little bit of time to Valeria after diving in. But look, Cats, I don't know you that well, man, but I'm going to trust you on this one, and I'm going to spend some time here to get involved in the Valeria ecosystem a little bit and see what's up.
And it goes back to what we were talking about, right? Like there comes a point where you're just stressing, you're stretching yourself too thin, and it's like, how much can I keep tabs on this and everything else I got going on, right?
No, 100%. Yeah, you need folks. That's what's a great part of this network as well. I agree with you completely. Last point here on on the gaming front, Jonah, we might have a little bit more, but Jonah's mentioning pixels. So if you've been following Kagiyan, he's like he really goes hard into like a single game, right? Like that's his mode. Other than, and I think this is on Ronin Network. You can see it here. It's possible that Web3 Gaming has found its new Axie level game. Ronin Network reports that Pixels Online has just hit over 100,000 daily users, not wallets. This game has a token and is farming simulator based. So yeah, we can look at Pixels Online. I'll probably go to Kagi's stream here and see if we can find it. Any thoughts on that stat?
Dude, if that's legit, again, it's hard sometimes to know how to read data, but if that's legitimate data and they have 100 million, he said 100 million, 100,000 still 100,000 daily active users.
That's 10x the amount of active users in Ethereum right now.
Yeah.
Daily traders.
No, like that's big. That's a lot of daily active users for any application, much less like a Web3 game. So
we should try to get him on the show maybe next week and come talk about it. Like I love his takes on gaming as well. So it'd be a fun convo. I probably won't do a lot of talking, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, Kagi's following this game really well. So yeah, we could potentially have him on the channel to talk about it. Also, I guess the token is Pixel, so I'll give that one look here, and then we can move on into this Refik conversation. Let me make sure I get this for y'all. Is it Pixelverse?
So my one question about the SHRAP token is, so we know friction can be a friend of profits. And right now you're talking about, it's not necessarily super easy to get over there. What's the thing that does make it easier? Because for it to really take off, like it does kind of have to have more of those distribution points or touch points where people can get easily into it. So is it that it like once it gets added to like the Coinbases and things like that, bigger exchanges, then it becomes much easier, right? You're muted.
Yeah, me and Mike are buying it through a decentralized exchange. You can see here, this is their pinned tweet on their profile. Find it on Bybit, KuCoin, Bitmart.
So once it gets on like Coinbase and some bigger exchanges, it becomes easier, right?
Yeah, but but at that point, you want to be in before that happens.
Right. But that was I'm thinking out, right? So if I get in now, like what are the things that are going to take it to that next level that you're imagining it gets to? It's like, well, it gets easier and the friction is cut down and more streamlined to get into the token once it is added to more bigger exchanges.
100%.
Okay.
And these are like mainstream gamers, I think. Sam Stefania, 5 billion views on Stefanina. I have no idea who this guy is, but he's unboxing like shrapnel gear and he did a couple videos. Yeah, this is it's actually crazy to me about what's happening with the shrapnel token right now. That it is being traded at those levels and has this much notoriety. So, but we already dedicated a portion of that. I think gameplay for this is going to be in December, so we'll be following that up here and giving you more info, obviously, on Shrapnel. All right, guys, we're about halfway through today's episode. I do have a very important announcement that I need to get to y'all. Very, very important. Before I do that, I need you guys to give the episode a like. I need us to share out the episode as much as possible so we can get as many folks in here that we can. All right, the announcement here, folks. Refik Anadol's mind-numbing, multi-million-dollar spectacle is a house of cards and a hall of mirrors.
Yeah.
Momentary diverting gimmick art. Take away the music, and it's just a banal screensaver. Cool by me. Get that.
Yeah, I've been saying it, y'all.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've been saying it.
We've been saying Rafik's actually it's just a glorified screensaver. He's not actually creating any real art. It's just a gimmick. And, you know, MoMA clearly agrees.
Explain who this is first, and then Biggie, I would love your take. But who is Jerry Saltz? Who is salting up our timeline here with this Refik take?
He's a well-known art critic from the traditional art world. You know, he writes for the New York Times. And I'm sure it's not the first time he's bashed NFTs or digital art before. I mean, look at his age.
That's exactly what I expected him to look
You'll
like,
be coming soon, Jerry. You know, it's no problem, and it sucks that you missed it. But I honestly, I respect it. It's fine. Like that's what art's about. Like I think anything that opens the door for a conversation and an opportunity for people that are informed to talk to these people, right, and to let them know what it takes to make something like this and why it's unique and why it's a paradigm shift from what they're used to is great if they're willing to listen. And if not, you know, you keep writing your little pieces in your dinosaur fucking paper, fucking, you know, newspaper, and that's fine. Like I don't know, man. I'm not too fazed by it. I think, you know, one of the things I contrasted that with Michael F. Chan. You know, I had a conversation with him, which I thought was really impactful, coming to terms with the way we consume art, right? Like the way we have traditionally consumed art, you know, usually, especially traditional art, like you have to go to a museum, pay a ticket, go in there. And then the question is, out of that, you know, multi-room collection that you go visit, how much time do you spend in front of each piece realistically, right? 10, 20 minutes. Now tell me, throughout your life, how many times have you looked at a screensaver? You know, I bet you it's a lot more. How many times have you spent, you know, in front of a game? A lot more. And I think digital art is somewhere in the middle, right? Like it's no surprise for us that the MoMA, right? Like the most consumed piece is Refik Anadol, right? Like people stand in front of that thing for hours, right? Completely mesmerized by it. I've done that with fucking screensavers too.
Yeah,
so
I think we all have.
You guys had to say, you know, that it's not art because it's a screensaver. Well, Jerry, I think that then you have no place talking about fucking art in the first place, dude. At least not anymore, man. Like, you know, you're old, bro.
So
that's all I say.
So the thing that's so blatantly obvious about this is that a lot of screensavers, like, yes, they have a simple function of trying to change the color, the colors and the pixels and the color profiles so that you don't burn out the pixels or the screen. But a lot of them were actually literally made to be cool visuals to show off the capabilities of what these displays over time could do. They are literally cool, interesting digital art. And it's just like to just miss the point that like actually this has all been part of like the history of digital displays and digital art, different types of displays for artwork. That is what a lot of screensavers are. And so obviously it became like a fucking meme. But also to your point about like, this is what you expected Jerry Saltz to look like. This whole take is exactly what I would expect some outdated dinosaur to say about NFTs. It's like the most obvious surface level, basic fucking take, because he didn't go in deep to understand the work, the intention, what makes it interesting to so many people, why it's innovative. He didn't talk about anything beyond his own
experience. Interacting in front of a screen has always been checking email, right? Same thing with a phone. That's the only thing he uses it for. So of course, when he looks at this, he thinks it's a screensaver. But Jerry, dude, like when I'm stuck in winter, I set my screensaver to like sunny, beachy places that make me feel great. And I wake up and I look at my computer and I look outside, and that makes me feel good. And that's, to me, the purpose of art, you know. And I understand there's a divide between a certain type of creative and what ends up in a museum, right? But the fact that you just didn't even take the time to try to comprehend it, and just made basic, like Giff said, the most obvious snap judgment, so dismissive, tells me that you need to retire, you know. And I get it, you need a nap, you probably get tired, you know, reading the first page of your own fucking newspaper, right? And it's all right, dude, you know. Like, I think it's high time to spend time with your grandchildren and shut the fuck up.
Well, that mirrors a lot of the political system in the U.S. at least too, right? There are a ton of people on the political side that need to do the exact same thing, that have all of these outdated beliefs, and they need to get off the. I'm sorry, like if you're older than 60, you're watching this. First off, you're awesome. Like, but a lot of people that are working in the highest level of our government, or making the shot calls on what is art today, need to not be there. Like, it's just, dude, you had it. You had it. Like, nobody wants to leave. I don't know. Yeah. You're muted.
I'm trying to find Rafik's actual response, because he responded directly.
Oh, wow.
To him. But here's one other fun response. Of course, people getting in the mix. I thought for sure when I woke up this morning that I would go to OpenSea or NFT Go and see a trending screensavers collection, and nobody did it yet, but I'm sure somebody will. There's going to be 10,000 Pepe screensavers coming soon. Yeah.
All right. Here's a response by Refik. This is about an hour ago. It looks like, dear friends, deeply moved by the massive response from our community for shallow anti-digital art critique. It means the world to me. Thank you. Now heading to Brazil to meet our Yawanawa family, true heroes and mentors of mine, to connect and share the success of Winds of Yawanawa.
And see, I get it. Like, see, how many communities do you think Jerry Seltzer belongs to? Fucking zero. He's never even had the experience. The closest thing to a community in the art world that he's had is being friends with the curators that tell him what to buy or what to look at and who's coming up in his little bubble in New York. You know, it's mind-boggling, you know, for him to not even give it a couple of hours and explore the differences. And you know, and if he tells me that he has, then I think you're just salty because you see that, you know, the art world's changing, and, you know, there's not going to be a place for you in it.
I think a lot, like, to me, my initial reaction to this was, first of all, who hurt you? Has anybody asked you if you're okay today? Like, are you okay, Jerry? But the other thing is, like, I read it as like, this feels like a hurt man. It feels like a hurt critic who is like many critics. Like, I saw some other people engagement farming saying that gen art isn't art yesterday. And I'm just like, these types of takes to me come from hurt people who are hurting because I don't think that they have ever been able to create anything actually interesting, beautiful, resonant, that built that community, that got that love and reaction. Like, I just don't think that a lot of these people that are critics putting out these shitty takes have ever probably really gone through the deep process of creating something that actually was meaningful and valuable on any level. And so they hurt because they feel like I could have done this. I should have done this. I could do better. How dare these other people get all the accolades of being an artist when I should be the artist getting all this attention? I think that a lot of critics and these types of like shitty takes come from that sort of like hurt. Why not me? Why don't I get the attention? I'm the genius. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but have you ever actually put your heart and soul into something for years and years or decades and then finally built something that mattered to people?
Maybe I'm letting them off the hook a little bit here, but I take the approach of like, I think this comes from a place of love when in the sense of defending something that they feel really like they're attached to their whole livelihood and personality to. And so they want to defend this thing from the new thing that's going to disrupt everything that they've known.
You know, they are part of a generation that has had to defend modern art, right? Like Duchamps and fucking Clint and, you know, Rothko's even, you know, from people that would say the same thing, like, oh, my kid could do that. And then they have to come in and explain that, right? And it's like, no, they couldn't, you know, and they didn't. And this is the reason why this is valuable, right? And why this does count as art and belongs in a museum, right? And now they're turning around and doing the exact same thing, right? It's unfortunate, you know, and like, I think it's important. I get it. Like, maybe I'm a little bit too harsh, but it's just really annoying when you have to listen to these folks and then it's so obvious that they didn't even have the basic curiosity, right? If you're going to be a pulpit in this space, right? Like, at least give it a shot. Like, read a little bit, read a white paper, try it, join a Discord, try it a community, have somebody help you out and do it, you know, if you're too old and don't understand computers for it. But to just dismiss it like that, that's the type of comment that really pisses me off.
It doesn't feel like it's going to have this like overarching effect on the digital art
scene.
I
don't care about the effect.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, I'm just for people out there that are watching and wondering what this means. I don't think it means much. It's just kind of a funny thing that happened.
It's just, yeah, it's like Gensler saying something, right? Or Elizabeth Warren saying something about Chris. It's the same thing, right? It's just in the art world this time. It's a dinosaur in the art world, not doing his research.
Yeah, and Gifted came in with this link as well. This is from Matt Medved talking about Vice, who is doing their part to also rain on the parade, not in the digital art scene, but more so the PFP scene, which is an extension of digital art, to be honest. But they're saying, wow, people lost a shit ton of money on NFTs. What's going on here?
It's hilarious because I got a message from, you know, those bellwether friends or people that people tell you, like, when these people start reaching out, like, it's a signal. Well,
fair weather friends
forwarded to me by a friend, and he was like, hey, what do you think about this? And
yeah, of course.
I'm like, I mean, it's such an easy take to make, right? But I was like, look, listen, there are a lot of people that made a ton of money with those apes.
It's engagement.
Like, they're only highlighting the people that came in at the very tippity top and lost a ton of money, right? But if you put it in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people have made careers, money, found community, meaning all kinds of stuff because of NFTs. Like, it's a very reductive take.
It is.
But again, that's the modern day media for you, right? It's something that needs to be addressed and cleansed, right? Like,
those people want to affirm their own biases.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Gif.
No, like, I agree with everything y'all are saying. It's honestly really reductive. They're just farming off of the people that want to feel smart for not getting into NFTs. All those people out there that were like, this is a scam, NFTs are nonsense. All they're doing is pandering to you for clickbait, because they actually don't have any quality, like, journalistic standards anymore. All these what were new media companies that were disrupting traditional media, like Vice, what's the other one? Oh, like BuzzFeed. All of them, they became basically just click farmers, just clickbaiters, listicles that are absolute fucking nonsense. They have no journalistic standards or values at all, other than trying to drive as much clicks as possible and traffic to, like, trigger you into going and reading it. So they will pander. They will give you whatever fucking salacious headline makes you want to go read the thing. Does not matter if the information is actually informative or valuable or accurate. It doesn't matter, because their entire existence as a media organization relies upon getting you to click in. That's their entire fucking business model. And it's already outdated and broken, to Biggie's point. And so what I loved about the Matt Medved thing is he's saying, look, make sure to remember these fucking people. Remember the Rolling Stones and the Vices and all these people that are going to dance on your graves, even though it doesn't even make sense at this point. And they'll be out here shitting on you, and then turn around when the market comes back again and be relaunching their own NFT and Web3 initiatives. They're going to do that because they were launching their own in 2022. Both Rolling Stone and Vice had fucking NFTs and Web3 initiatives.
All right, First, who hurt Gifted We know who hurt Gift advice. Apparently,
I'm just speaking
and,
facts.
And I don't know how Huda now jumps in here. Huda, I'd like to say that we weren't having as deep an episode before this combo, but we actually were.
Dude, I love that this is where I came in, and I love seeing Gift fired up.
Love it, man. So what's going on? What have you been up to today? I know you put out a market update earlier. What are you seeing?
Dude, I don't even remember what I wrote in that. It's been one of those spinning days. Yeah, crazy day, just busy, and the market, of course, looked great this morning, at least the last time I checked it out. I was really excited to make it on here earlier, and I know I'm late, but like, you guys already hit on the screensaver thing, right? I'm sure that was like front of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
We actually, this is like the last part of that combo. So if you got any takes, drop them.
Okay, dude, and so this might be the most obvious take, and the same thing you guys said. I used to look at art and not be able to distinguish the difference between a screensaver and some of this wonderful art. And what I realized is that is just an early step in you understanding art, even though that comment, I think, came from an art critic. Who made that comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a famous New York Times art critic. Like he's a legit personality in the art world, but just because he's a fucking critic for the New York Times.
It tells me there's still something that guy does. It doesn't matter your title. There's still something you don't understand, that screensavers are often phenomenal fucking art. Like Zach Lieberman, he makes art for Apple for like screensavers for them. And he's a wonderful NFT artist on top of that, because the NFT is just like a medium too, right? The art's phenomenal. We've been spoiled to get so much great art, honestly, as screensavers. So I don't know. His comment I thought was interesting, just because I know I've said that too. And then in the end, it was like, well, because a lot of screensavers are fucking amazing. Like, it's kind of that, right?
They're actual digital. They are examples of cool digital art. That's what a lot of screensavers literally are. And there's such strong NIMBY vibes. You know, I think Q, you're the one who's bringing it back to like, I just see a threatened dude. And it's like, yeah, no, we are the art establishment. How dare you, you upstarts, you scallywags, you digital artists, you crypto natives, thinking that you could dare create art. How dare, like his imagination is that the future of art is just going to be physical paintings or illustrations. Like, dude, you're so fucking like just missing everything around you that's happening in the world. Then if you actually believe that, and you're not just being a performance artist yourself and just purely fucking trolling.
Hey man, clickbaiting himself in a way. But think of this too. Digital artists didn't have a lot of places to sell their art before. Like, you could work for a brand and you could make their graphics and logos and stuff. And making screensavers was a viable way to actually just earn a living. That doesn't diminish the art. The art was always fucking phenomenal, but the game has changed because of NFTs now. Now you can just sell your art.
All right, I've got a lot of really smart individuals on stage, and I want to keep this to like 30 seconds or maybe a minute if we can, guys. I know we're bad at that, but I'm interested in this piece because it's digital art. This is like a very minuscule battle. Like, it's not a war by any means. I don't agree with anybody trying to make it more than that, but Pandora's box of, as digital art gets more popular and now AI creating art, is there going to be an emphasis on human created art? Like, and I say human, like not digital art, as we move to this place where there's going to be artificial intelligence as artists. Like
yes.
And that's a Pandora's box, I know.
Yes.
But I think like the most important thing to highlight here is that AI is never going to be able to share the experience, the human experience of creating a community and telling a story and bringing people along for the ride and having that growth that you get that you've never been able to see before, right? Like, I think that's what, and the fact that you're doing it with crypto will be able definitely to tell whether it was, built by human or whether it was like an AI collaboration, which is, a way that people are phrasing it nowadays. Yeah.
I kind of think, like, I do see a possibility that AI art can do that and can innovate. In fact, I remember maybe like 2 or 3 months ago seeing something that just blew me away. Do you guys remember seeing this AI generated thing that looked like this swirl of light? It was
You're
like
talking about basic, or
it could be. I'm trying to pull it up too, because when I saw it, I'm like, oh, we're just going to go back and forth with humans innovating and then the AI innovating and then the humans innovating. But I don't think one ever eliminates the other. I think it's going to be a really beautiful time for the growth of art.
Yeah, it's going to be a coexistence, right?
Yeah.
Before
and it will never replace.
Yeah, Sarah Script, shout out to you. The calligrapher has entered the chat and saying,
an old school profession right there.
Yeah, saying human made will be valuable, but we shouldn't shun AI art or services. I think it was Roger yesterday who said something that I thought was smart, and that's that it's like the body of work that really matters. Right. So like there's going to be certain AI art that like doesn't have much context. It doesn't have much of a journey, much of a narrative. It doesn't have much personality or character. And then there's going to be AI artists that have a whole body, a whole oeuvre of their own that like there's a lot of different work and thought and intention that goes into creating these things. And I think that's where the nuance and understanding what makes a piece of AI collaborative art actually valuable or interesting versus just a bunch of junk that's being spammed out. It doesn't mean that that can't be art. It just means like how you value these things, I think, is very nuanced in that the context of the body of work, the thought, the intention, it's getting into all that. But then you have the whole curve, right? We love the curve, the bell curve, Nifty Q. I think the mid curving it for AI art is everybody just hating on it for a long time and pulling a Jerry Saltz, getting salty on it because how dare you let the robots come in and act like humans and do human things?
All right, we've got about 10 minutes left in this episode, so I'm going to fly through some of this. First of all, Huda, is this what the art piece you were mentioning?
That was the one, and I saw a lot of people comment say this is the moment where I realized now that AI can kind of innovate too, like create something that we maybe haven't seen before, and that blew me away. And there was a few other examples like this of the same program, or I don't understand like the same type of prompts, but that was it was hypnotizing.
Okay, Biggie, I've got your piece here from FX Hash, or the one that you, not your piece, but the one that you're showing us.
No, this is a NFA, DYOR, blah, 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 disclaimers. GIF already said it, but, you know, we've been talking a lot about FX Hash right now. And if you wanted to maybe have a guarantee secure or an allow list for some of the drops that are upcoming, Tender Pass is partnered with them. You should check out their Discord. There was a little bit of alpha there, but I think it's, you know, what is it, $299 floor. There's only like 38 listed, 2 that are kind of reasonably priced. And oh no, there's a couple more. But yeah, if you're looking to take part in the FX Hash drops that are upcoming,
it's interesting that they have a pass that is unique, right? Because most of the passes that we've seen are just like
cool,
and that's why you see different prices for these passes, which is not something I think you get with a super rare that looks all the same.
Zeneca owns probably like I think 20, maybe even more of these. In fact, he's got one that gets you I think 2 free, not just mints. Well, yeah, free mints. He gets a free 1 or 2 every single drop that they partner with. Did they have alpha today?
Yeah, they basically mentioned that you know, they're partnered with FX Hash for the upcoming drops, and if you were to want a guaranteed allow list spotted some of these drops, and I think they mentioned not just one but all of them, you might want to get one of those.
Good shit.
Biggie, if you can actually find those details and pull it up, that would be helpful. But so my question on this is a Tezos pass, but you're saying this gets you allow listed on the Ethereum FX Hash launches?
Yeah, so here it is. Tender is the exclusive launch day curation partner for the FX Hash 2.0 launch on December 1st. Wow. Honored to be selected for this and can't wait to share more about the works with you all. We have no less than 6 special projects coming at you, including pre-sale allow list reserves for pass holds on, it looks like, all of them. Now FX can run DAs, Dutch auctions, after a fixed price sale period for reserves, so there may be some added bonus savings to taking part in the
How much is 300 Tez?
Like 150 to $200?
I think Tesla, I saw this morning like 80, 85 cents. So, you know,
200, 225 bucks maybe. So this is why they call them the alpha chat. Cause like, this is the type of stuff that like we all probably don't take seriously enough that Biggie's always getting in on, that usually ages very well. So I'm just saying, NFA, if I can get one, like I want to get one, because I think FX Hash 2.0 is going to be pretty legit and have a lot of great curated artists. They've already got it on the calendar. We've been talking about it. And if this is a way to get like priority access or allow listed to a bunch of these drops, might be worth $200, $300.
Avoid some gas wars.
Yeah. I know we got to move on. I'll make this super quick. I've had multiple passes for a while. I've not been thrilled with the artists they've partnered with. So just make sure you're verifying who they actually are giving you a whitelist for in this upcoming drop, but also that they're partnering with a partner to optimize for gas in maybe a new, unique way. So just wanted to throw that out there.
I love it. We're going to move on real quick. One thing I would like to touch on is I believe super rare. No, proof mint here, Biggie. Did the proof mint?
Yeah.
Is that going on here for La Potier?
Well, yeah, this one just sold out like really fast. It's wonderful. It was 75 pieces only available, and you get the physical with the NFT. I think they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I did not partake because I'm a klutz. I know I'm going to break that pottery, and so I'd rather have somebody that's a little more careful and will relish it. But they're beautiful pieces. Yeah, this is part of the new exhibition that Proof is having at the Foundry, which you might want to go check out, GIF. But I'm more excited about the one coming up next. I don't know if you can pull that one out. That one's going to be pretty legit. It's Frank Herbert, and it's basically like code that was like half finished and then got, that's not the Proof Pass, by the way, bro.
This is not?
No, that's not that's not ours. That's somebody else's. It's like
my God,
launch pad or some shit like that. Yeah, of course they're going to name it Proof, right? And try to ride on our coattails. But yeah, you should check out the exhibition that Proof is putting up. There's going to be a public Dodge option, so it's not like a gated to Proof holders only. But this Frank Herbert one is going to be, I think, one for the books. Very much like the Emily Edelman that who was it? Sotheby's did. It's a really cool story because, like, I guess like he didn't finish the code for this artwork, and working along with the Frank Herbert estate family, whatever, and a couple of other like really heavy hitters there, they were able to finish it off. And I think it's going to be 300 pieces. Dutch auction started at 5 ETH, going down to 0.5. I think that's massive. And then they have a couple, like 2 other artists, which I haven't read up on it as closely yet, but it's going to be good. You guys should check it out.
Definitely.
And again, auction for the public, so it's not exclusive to Proof.
Okay, I'm going to move us into a little bit of the broader market here, guys. And then Huda, since you're here, I'd love to get your take here on Valeria because that was mentioned again as we were talking gaming earlier.
Cats was here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's touch on that in just a moment. I already showed you on Shrapnel Operators. There was a drop that happened for, I believe, the SHRAP token. If you own that happened about a week ago. There was like a pretty big dump. And now, I was able to get some last night, and now they're doing, pretty well. And I think they will do well as gameplay starts to release here. There's some other winners of the day. Digidaigaku, I can never get a handle on why they're up or why they're down. It looks like DeFi Apes, Creeps, Nakamigos Cloaks is up. So a lot of big winners here. And then looks like Forgotten Runeverse.
What's Cloaks up to? What's Cloaks up to?
0.04. So I don't think that even the mint price that they had
originally. It's basically where I got it. It's still below mint.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Pepins are down. Velocity Series down. And then the avatars pumped crazily here over the last bit, but they're down a little bit on the day. Huda, we did have a Bitcoin sighting here on the 7-day now, correct? Did it finally make the pass? Is that what we were waiting for?
It did. I was on that Taproot Wizard Spaces last night. We chatted about it. Those guys blew me away just with how kind they are. I was kind of expecting to get beat up, like especially because I know even that community doesn't love the BRC20s being counted, which is fascinating, right? They were awesome. They're like, this actually isn't a crypto slam problem. We get you're tracking these, blockchain events. This is a way that people are kind of running with a narrative that's maybe not crystal clear, and they know it's not, and they're being a little disingenuous. So I love that they came with that perspective, and because that is the truth. That said, I think they agree. It still belongs and it still does count. But a lot going on in Bitcoin all of a sudden today. You've got it pulled up here, right? Taproot raising $7.5 million for that project. Absolutely wild.
So is Taproot Wizards a studio?
I don't know. I guess technically it could be. I mean,
this is how they launch a studio, right? So they started with a project, and it's a startup, just like many NFT projects. But now that they're raising legit money, they can launch a studio or do whatever now, right?
Got it. All right, we have to stop the show. here a moment and highlight one of the
What's up?
longest running hosts here on NFT Live. 2.5 years, maybe 3 years in running. Ronin the Collector. What's up, dude?
Dude,
What up, dude? How you guys doing, man?
it's great to
better
see
now.
you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys. I was like sitting in chat and I told Q just like a week or two ago, I was like, man, I really want to jump back on. It's just been crazy. But today I feel like a huge weight has been lifted and like life's feeling good. And yeah, so just want to jump in and say hello. Say you guys have been producing excellent fucking content as always. Huda, I know we haven't been able to chat or meet yet, man, but I love like to see you and Biggie and like, yeah, you guys are doing excellent shit, man. So just coming through to say hello, see how everybody was doing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Ronin.
see you, man.
Yeah, it is. Ronin has a very special place here for a lot of reasons, not just the longevity and provenance of his participation, but he's the one that really pushed to get me more integrated and then like make Nifty Q and I kind of partner up. Like without Ronin, we probably wouldn't be here at all. Actually.
nice.
Yeah. So that's
You guys are a powerhouse team, man. I told you, like you two together, like when you're aligned in goals and like what you're trying to accomplish and you're both like genuine human beings, like good things happen. And like, I truly freaking believe that. So I'm just glad to be part of like everything that you guys are continuing to do.
Yeah, dude, you also got a shout out. I think it was NFT Now was posting old Clubhouse screenshots. Did you see that?
No, shut up. Really?
Yeah, they were. I think it was just one of those like, have you been here this long? Or one of those just sort of like, and with a screenshot of a Clubhouse room with you hosting up at the top.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I gotta check that out. That's awesome.
For some reason, I assumed you would have seen it, so I think I forgot to like tag you or whatever. But yeah,
If someone wants to know how far we've come on the show, we were on a Zoom call on
Oh
Wax.
my god,
Wow.
A Zoom call with Ben from Wax. Oh,
Look at the date.
my.
Look at the date at the bottom.
This is amazing.
2020.
2020.
Damn.
Got the receipts.
Yo, got the receipts. YouTube, they didn't go nowhere. Man, you know, the best part about this is that you guys have like been so consistent. The community that supports like you guys has, and like all of us, right, has been so consistent. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know like sometimes it feels like a grind, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna pop. Like you know, the grind is worth it. And I'm just glad to be here with you guys, man.
Ronin, one thing that I definitely wanted to have a conversation with you about, I know you didn't get much chance yesterday to talk about this. We've got about 3 stories. I want to touch on the Pudgies. I want to touch on this NHL piece. But one of the main stories from, I believe, earlier this week was the Disney piece, like the whole Disney getting in. I think people were on both sides. Some people were like, oh, this is another cash grab, extractive kind of release into Web3. Others were like, holy shit, this is huge. Where do you stand on that, since you've been, you know, involved in bringing larger brands into this industry for a while?
Yeah, one, totally understand it and I get it, right? But I think that like the biggest thing that we need to see happen in 2024 for like the good of like us, like our mental health and everyone in the space, is like the separation of you know, the technology, right, that Web3 and blockchain is bringing to the table, and what it does. Meaning, we need to separate it from being a vehicle for financial investments, right? Like, and when someone thinks of Bitcoin, blockchain, ETH, every introduction, they think about like a stock market Ponzi scheme, right? Like, and people don't understand that there is an underlying technology that is changing the world as we speak. It is going to continue to change the world in like unfathomable ways, right? And that's what I'm here for. And so when it comes to like something like Disney, I think that what I like about it is that they're doing something for their fans, right? Like if you're a Disney, I don't know who in here in chat or is a Disney pin collector.
Disney adults, where you at?
A Disney adult. Yeah. Rebecca schooled us.
I have to be. As a father,
Well,
like you're a customer, period.
Yeah. Well, and look, it's fun, right? Like I did not know about the Disney pin thing. We did Disney last year for the first time with the family. Thank you for NFTs. And so like literally 2 or 3 weeks before we started looking into it, and we find out that there's these pin things, and I'm like, what is this that they collect and stuff? And you guys know I'm a collector. So I start doing my research, and I'm like, wait, okay, this is cool. So when we show up day one at the parks, all 4 of us in the family got our lanyards on. We got the 20 pins that I bought for everybody, and we're ready to start trading and swapping and trying to get the things that we want. You know, what I loved was from the moment you walk into the hotel on Disney's property, there are pin boards everywhere. And all you have to do, and if you don't see one, you can always walk up and ask if they have a pin board, and they will pull out this massive pin board. And what's cool is that they stock it at the beginning of the day, but then throughout the day, people hit it and they swap it. That the only requirement to get any of the pins on the board is that you have to give them one of your own, and the one that you give them should not be, you know, a knockoff. So, so it's an experience, right? And this is something that I think that they're targeting those people, right? Those people who, I have a bag now that weighs like 20 pounds of pins, of all these metal pins, that does nothing other than create a really awesome memory. And it's a really cool experience, right? And I think that if we can tap into that vibe, right? Just like he showed cogs. Cogs was amazing because we were cracking packs and we were trading our cogs for other cogs. We were completing sets and subsets. We need a lot more fun.
So it makes total sense when you explain it that way, because what I'm understanding is that one of the primary utilities of the PFP NFT craze is exactly what they've been doing with these. It's like 1-to-1. It's that opportunity to just connect with somebody new and be like, oh, you got that thing, I got that thing. Let's trade a thing. Like, that's so much of the IRL or just the community aspect of the whole fucking NFT thing. It's a tribe, it's an experience, it's a community, it's communal, it's sharing alpha, it's all these things, and you literally have that already happening within the Disney IRL theme park experience through these pins. So like, dude, that to me is I think some kind of alpha, or at least lends credence to why this is probably going to do very well.
Yeah. I mean, and they're rabid, right? Like, you go into like the groups that are pin collectors, they have, you know, people just sitting at home, mom and dads, you know, they're creating spreadsheets and all these things when new pins drop, and they're, you know, helping each other find complete sets. And like, when you think about it, like, that's what I'm here for. That's what I was here for.
It's
that's
culture.
It's culture.
It's collecting. It's collector culture.
It's
interaction.
Let me add this in here, because this is, I think, a pretty good segue to the Pudgy Penguins piece. This is Tropo Farmer saying, straight from the mouth of the VP of Toys at Disney for 14 years. And it says, Chris Heatherly, this is wild, guys. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've never seen someone move as fast in the world of licensing and a real world product as Luca Netz. And he's referencing this post by Luca.
Let's fucking go.
Which says Pudgy Penguins has 2 different arcade machines debuting in 2024. You can see here. Thoughts on the Pudgy Penguins post here?
Are you still sleeping on Pudgies, Anon? That's all I have to say. The people out there, dude, this is why when Beanie came out saying that like it was all nonsense and Luca and what Pudgy was doing wasn't actually legit, or like he had a very basic fucking trolling contrarian take about it, everybody just immediately shat on Beanie so hard that he actually walked it back, or tried to like walk back his take the next day. Because dude, you cannot deny what they're doing. There is nobody that understands how to take a Web3 native NFT IP that has cool characters and actually cool IP, and then turn that into a fucking global brand and product better than him. Maybe like, okay, VFriends is doing a lot. I would argue this is doing it even better.
What's cool too is what Chris is seeing. NFTs and like really just all this blockchain tech enable things to happen faster, right? But then you got the ultimate businessman like Luca, and all of a sudden you got a perfect storm with the Pudgy Penguins. So we've just like blown Chris's hair back with everything happening here.
All right, any last takes on Pudgies? What's up?
Did you guys catch too that the only way you can license these claw machines is through Pudgy Penguins holders? That was in the replies down below. Somebody asked, how do you get it? And he said, well, franchises can only get it through holders. So
utility, dude, that's utility that I don't think, okay, Bored Apes, maybe there's something similar with the Made by Apes licenses. Other than that, I can't think of another project that's doing something like that on a utility level.
Yeah, but the thing is, Bored Ape is doing that in a more decentralized way, right? It's other community members doing it. This is Luca creating something and be like, hey, yeah, we franchise it out.
Yeah. That's how you build a brand.
Yeah.
Right? Like this, to me, this is like the direct like line to the TV show deals and like, you know, the towels and the clothes and the, you know, the Walmart, like, you know, fashion. And I think like, I love everything they're doing over there. I've actually talked to a couple of people on their team, and I love the way they look at IP. I love the way they have really attacked it. And I can't wait to see like what comes next, because again, the collecting, that if you realize the games are cool, right? But like, how many other what would you call those, like arcade fair type ticket games? How many other games like that do you actually win a collectible? Because if you notice, that second machine was like, you play the game and it looks like you win a collectible. And then you get one and you're like, fuck, man, this is only one of 6. I got to get the other 5.
Bro,
well, also, how many can you win and then it goes into a digital environment? Oh, let's see it, Huda.
Dude. So I've got a closet of these guys. I have how many of the plushies? I have how many, like probably 30 of the little igloo guys. My girls love them. Like, dude, they're awesome.
Dude, he's seeding out this IP so fast. Like literally, you got the VP of like product toys at Disney. Literally, like, what the fuck? Like, this is amazing what he's doing. And that's why, but to go back to a story earlier, when they updated projections to like closer to 7 million in sales before the end of the year, this is why. He knew all this shit was happening and coming. He couldn't tease a lot of this out, but like everybody's like, there's no way. Oh, you went from like $1 or $2 million projection to 7 million. How the fuck are you going to do that, bro? It's like, dude, because he has fucking insight into all the shit that they've been building and all the deals and the partnerships. He knows what he's fucking doing. He's not, when Luca Nets goes out there and says this shit, he's not just fucking like jerking off.
People gave him a lot of shit.
Dude, he's not just making up fucking random shit. He's saying this because he believes that like this is what's happening based upon his experience as a product merchandise guy, as a digital product salesman. Like this is what he's been doing.
Guys, we do have to move on. I want to hit this NHL story really quickly as well. And then Huda, you did drop me another link here. Something's happening over at Sotheby's. Would like to touch on that. Real quick, this is a big boon for SocialFi here. So I'm not going to get into the weeds on this, but essentially a token that was launched in the FriendTech ecosystem by one of the biggest accounts was a 1-to-1 mirror. So it if you own one of his tokens, it got you one of his points. So if you can kind of follow me down the very small rabbit hole, this was going to be our first look at what people thought a FriendTech token was going to be released at. So obviously big for all the farmers. They have all these points. I've been farming this for a while, and a lot of people are saying, is it going to be worth it? I put my ETH in here. Some people are down in ETH on this. Well, it looks like the token's trading at $4, which is very, very good, I should say. So people were saying maybe we potentially get $1, that would be good for a FriendTech airdrop. I'm sitting in like 1800th place, and that would be phenomenal for me to see a dollar price for what I've been farming. If it's anywhere close to $4.50 that it's sitting at right now, it would be a ridiculous stimmy for the industry right now. So we're just keeping tabs on that. It looks like Tyler's doing that for us as well. So big shout out there. All right, I do have really quickly who to touch on this piece, and then we'll end with NHL.
Yeah, I don't even know much about it. I just saw it and thought it was worth showing off here. But a private sale, it looks like, of multiple grails, multiple X copies here, a few ringers in there. Like just again, we don't know who the buyer is. Yeah, it's a lot of unknowns, but crazy.
Looks like ringers. Ringers.
That's a crazy ringer.
Yeah, X copy, ringers, and Denzas. Yeah. That's a crazy big sale. Shout out Roger Dickerman, who again came through yesterday on GM Web 3 for top 5 artists this week, the new segment, and dropped his short list of the top 5 artists who are trending and why. All of that happening on X. He's amazing. And I actually just retweeted this and shared that out. But I wanted to follow up on the last thing, man. There's just so many airdrop / token rewards opportunities happening right now. Yep. We're doing our best to stay on top of it, and we appreciate all y'all who help. We had Kreatorhood coming on this morning. I'm going to share my referral code for Kreatorhood in the comments. That's another one that's literally like watching.
Whoa. Hold up.
Or share yours. But the point is, look, it doesn't matter,
you got
dude.
The GM Web3 show.
Dude, the point is, like, get on it. Go create
drop
it.
your referral. I'm good. Yeah, you got
like
it.
the point is, like, there's so many opportunities. Even Kreatorhood is a whole new marketplace with innovative new rewards for both creators and traders. And they're doing it way different than OpenSea. Like, OpenSea has never done anything, but they're doing it way different than Blur's doing it. They're trying to include SocialFi. Dude, there's so, like, Inspect XYZ has a token coming. Dude, it is endless how many different opportunities there are right now. So if you're not subscribed to the network, if you're not participating with us on X, now is a great time, man, because there's just so many opportunities and crazy things that are happening. And with that, I did drop my referral code. And the important thing about this referral code for Kreatorhood, if you go create your account using that link, it doesn't just help me. It doesn't give me some kind of boost reward only. You apparently also get hooked up by that. So that was a cool thing that we learned. And shout out Kreatorhood for coming on the show this morning.
All right, we got max 5 minutes left. We can cover some of this stuff on next Monday as well. Of course, we'll be back next week. Hopefully you will be too. Leave a like for all these awesome creators. All right, this is the last story, fellas. We have an NHL Breakaway launch.
This is hilarious. Love to see my Kings, the LA Kings. Let's go.
Okay, so this looks like one card. I was hoping for like a trailer launch of this, but this looks like what you receive with one single digital collectible here. So this is it. Looks like Opening Ice Elites. And then you could see there was a kind of a NBA Top Shot trailer there. Here's the website as well. Guys, hop in with your thoughts. But we've seen NFL do it. We've obviously NBA Top Shot was the pioneer here, but it looks like NHL's dipping their toes in the waters.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we haven't seen is any of those launch on Polygon like these are. I don't know if that's going to matter or not, but Polygon is interesting. And I also I don't mean to tie in the Disney thing, but I found it interesting that Disney didn't launch on Polygon, who's in their incubator program. So I don't know, man. I think I'm not as bullish on these sports collectibles as I used to be, just because we've seen how they play out. Some of them would be great though. So
DraftKings has been all over Crypto Slam though. DraftKings has been killing it, haven't they?
That's true. Well, fantasy sports a little different, I think. If these guys want to start bringing in and baking in fantasy sports, that's a different story.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they might have it. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I agree with that. I think, the biggest issue, and I've talked about this before, is that, they're a collectible, right? Like you have to really pay attention to your supply and demand. And I think a lot of that has been the downfall of some of the most massive collectibles, right? Like you look at the Beanie Babies, you look at baseball cards in the 80s, you look at Top Shot during the Bull, right? Like if they would have just kept the mint numbers for their rarities all the same and never increased them, now and during a bear, they hold their value much more consistently. So I think that's probably one of the biggest issues that we're seeing, is that because it's digital, they think they can print infinitely, but they don't. They're still not keeping in mind that scarcity is key. So I'm really interested to see where they go with their packs, how they handle rarity, how they handle things like that. I also still think that the biggest thing missing from all of these experiences is the ability to trade, because again, everybody's so focused on the dollar. However, I think trading is a inherent part of collecting that makes it fun and actually connects people to a collectible, because they love a thing, someone else loves a thing, and then someone looks at the things they got and they're like, I actually love that one a little more, and you're like, oh, I actually love that one a little more, and guess what, now you swap and you got something that you love more than the other one, but you still both have this huge love for a thing, right? So trading is something that I'm blown away has not gone anywhere other than Wax.
So actually, I just think that the user experience and the incentive and the way that it works hasn't been cracked yet. But maybe 0-1 is a good example of how that's happening, because what's happening on 0-1 is people are are trading their creativity basically for other people's art. You get the 10 tickets, and that's part of why that's been so awesome, because it focuses on just creativity and kind of a trade. It's like, okay, I create something, I get 10 tickets, and I basically can go mint 10 free NFTs from awesome artists that I love. And so it's like just figuring out the mechanics a little bit, I think will make it work, and I think we're starting to see some of that.
All right, guys, we're going to end the episode here on one of the craziest stories that I have ever seen.
This can't be.
I just saw that.
Get out of here.
Is that real? Live.
To be fair, though, it's not the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
I remember when he said he was quitting, and I literally went to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert where he was the opening act. And this is when everybody was like, oh my God, Snoop Dogg stopped smoking. And he was out there like, yeah, I don't smoke weed. He was up on stage fucking smoking a blunt while he allegedly quit. So like, give me dude, he's just so cool. Smart at the branding and marketing, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a genius, that dude.
Yeah.
Like people are saying in that thread, they're like, what is he doing? Dropping an edible tomorrow? Like he's quit the smoke. So now tomorrow he's launching like an edibles, right? Yeah.
I'm not smoking.
What's that movie?
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're an hour and 20 minutes in, so we're over time. We are going to head out of here. We do have a rehash coming today, and then we will be streaming parallel on the channel for the remainder of the week to try to sneak in that win. They're doing a event over there for Prime tokens. So
make sure you turn your mic on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I got your back, my guy. I got your back.
We're professionals. Anyways, let's go around counterclockwise and let's end with Ronin because it's great to see my man here, and it'd be awesome to see him sign us off. Biggie Poppins, what's going on, bro? Last words.
Love you, fam. See you next week.
Heck yeah.
Get that counterclockwise.
Oh, it's me? Okay, real quick. I gotta share this. Brian Lee from Oniforce just shared out one of his coffins. I just dropped that in the chat. If y'all could put some love on it, man, appreciate it. Coffins are minting now. Somebody got this first triptych last night, a rare triptych. This is the special off-white gold X Vermilion. That is the first triptych minted. It went to Jack's Hideaway. Massive congrats. And then just wanted to share this one. Just a crazy combination that I never would have thought of that this person, Nate, I think, is it Drago Nate? He generated this yesterday, and it does something to my eyes. It's stunning. I never would have thought of this, and I'm just loving to see the art. So go mint some coffins. Appreciate y'all, our Vibra tribe.
Huda.
Guys, Andre 3000 album tomorrow. That's kind of all that's on my mind, which is fucking crazy.
Go.
It's crazy. All flute.
Let's get some flute.
Or wind works. It's going to be gorgeous. I saw an interview with him today. That guy's a legend. Just so damn cool. I wish we did these shows on Fridays. I'm going to miss you guys, but we'll see you back on Mondays. You guys are amazing.
Awesome. And I appreciate you guys. I love all of you guys. I will definitely be around more often. I look forward to having chats. To all the love in chat, we appreciate you. Thanks for being here, hanging out. That's our vibe, our tribe. We'll catch you later.